Hello friends, let's learn hyperlipoproteinemias in logical and conceptual manner. So before we jump onto the table of different types of hyperlipoproteinemias, I would like to give you a summary of how are the lipoproteins utilized in our body. So we have a fatty food or generally food containing fat. From that, chylomicrons will be uh, formed by the intestinal cells and then pushed into lymphatic system that will take this uh, to the different cells of the body. So chylomicrons would be eaten by the systemic cells. Okay, we will use a symbol S, systemic cells, and what will be left is chylomicron remnants. Okay, now this remnant are finally taken up by liver. This is one half of the story. The next half is something like this. Liver produces VLDL. Okay, take it into consideration that liver produces VLDL and not LDL directly. Okay, now VLDL is the transporter of triglyceride and cholesterol, both triglyceride and cholesterol. Triglyceride more and cholesterol less. As this VLDL keeps on losing triglyceride, to whom does this triglyceride go to? Same, systemic cells other than liver. The triglyceride would be gradually decrease in the VLDL, and what this left is VLDL remnants. We also called it as intermediate density lipoproteins. And as triglyceride becomes severely depleted, what is formed is LDL, and it has very low level of triglyceride but very high level of cholesterol. Remember this. So we can say LDL is almost proportional to cholesterol, equals to cholesterol, not proportional. So this is the one cycle. Now remember, this LDL is either fully taken up by the cell or the LDL which is left in the bloodstream would be taken up by the liver. Now we would discuss HDL afterwards. First let's finish this. So remember this chain, and now we jump on to the table. So here we have hyper type 1 hyperchylomicronemia. So deficiency of lipoprotein lipase, ApoC2 deficiency. Now lipoprotein lipase is an enzyme which will be only activated when the chylomicron shows its ID card, ApoC2. ApoC2 is kind of ID card which will be shown to the cell. Consider this is chylomicron going to the cell telling that I am having triglyceride, please take it. But cell will say first show me your ID card. So it will show the ID card ApoC2. And who gives him the ApoC2? It is HDL. Okay, HDL provides everybody ID card. What ID card HDL provides? ApoC2 and ApoE, just for information. Okay, it is not needed right now. So chylomicron will show the ID card to cell, and the triglyceride will be taken by the cell and metabolized using lipoprotein lipase. So if the cell is not having lipoprotein lipase, the chylomicron would be staying in the bloodstream as it is. So now you can imagine that this is bloodstream and full of fatty foods, the fat that we have eaten. Now high levels of fat will cause pancreatitis. So there is a rule that you have to remember, that two things, triglyceride and cholesterol. Whenever there is severe increase in triglyceride, it will always cause pancreatitis, and where there is severe increase in cholesterol, it would cause xanthoma and atherosclerosis. This is a basic rule. Okay, so here in type 1 we can see that there is increase in triglyceride and it is causing pancreatitis. Now you will have a question that why is xanthoma formed? These xanthoma are formed by the macrophage cells. The macrophage cells take up the triglyceride and they then deposit on the skin to form eruptive and pruritic xanthoma. Now next is 2, type 2 familial hypercholesterolemia. Okay, so here there is deficiency of LDL receptor and ID card over here is ApoB100. So let's go to our chain. Here the LDL is being taken up, LDL is being taken up by liver. If there is no taking up of LDL, the LDL would get accumulated. Okay, and the accumulated LDL, from here we can see that it is almost like accumulation of cholesterol. So here we can see that there is very high level of cholesterol, and according to our rule that whenever there is high cholesterol there would be atherosclerosis and xanthoma. So here we can see that there is severe accelerated atherosclerosis and xanthomas. Now type 3. Now type 3 is like recycling type. ApoE is an ID card whenever anything wants to get into liver as a form of recycle. Okay, so all the remnants like all these remnants, these VLDL remnants, ideal, whenever they want to get back to their go down, they will have to show them ApoE ID card. Okay, without ApoE ID card they won't be taken up by the liver. So here we can see that what chylomicron would be, it would have some level of triglyceride. VLDL will also be having triglyceride and cholesterol. So let's see. Okay, here is chylomicron and VLDL remnants, and as they are having cholesterol, we can see atherosclerosis and xanthoma would be formed. Okay, type 4. In type 4 what is happening is liver in itself is producing very high levels of VLDL. Okay, it is producing VLDL in a very heavy production, and we can see that VLDL is more of triglyceride and less of cholesterol initial phases. So we can here see that there is accumulation of triglyceride and VLDL, and as our rule triglyceride causes pancreatitis, and we can see that there is pancreatitis. Okay, this concludes hyperlipoproteinemias and major LDL, HDL, VLDL. Now let's discuss a small concept of HDL. Now what is HDL? HDL is also a lipoprotein formed by the liver like VLDL. Okay, it is also formed by liver. But what is the aim of HDL? HDL aim is to bring cholesterol back to the liver. Okay, it is like going empty bag. This is bag, sorry for my drawing. This is empty bag and it has to fill this with cholesterol. Okay, it has to fill with cholesterol. From where will it bring cholesterol? From the blood vessels, from the cells. Okay, it will bring cholesterol back to the liver. But in between, suppose HDL meets a VLDL or LDL, and they ask that please give me some amount of cholesterol, then it can give some amount of cholesterol to LDL. but for that it would need an enzyme known as CETP. And when it is filling its bag, when HDL is filling when HDL is filling its bag, it will be needing an enzyme called LCAT, which would be taking cholesterol from systemic cells, from blood vessels. Okay, so we have two enzymes to be mugged up, LCAT and CETP. Okay, I hope this is concludes our session. Thank you.